we go. Hello and welcome, genties and ladlemen. It is, in fact, your boy, Sir Edward, and I'm here with the first episode of Cracking the Shell, where we go behind all the blast beats and the monster noises. And we sit and have a natter and we find out a wee bit more about all the cool dudes and gals in the Glasgow and wider Scottish metal scene. For our debut episode, we have got the love child between Larry Wang and Mike Portnoy, Mr. Luke Lockley. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
I'm really good. It's going to be fun doing this, and it'll be my way of giving
Yeah.
back to the community and stuff like that.
hmm
So, what I want to do first off is we'll have a we go back at your upbringing, your childhood, learning to play, finding metal, like the
Yeah.
Wikipedia biography section and shit like
Okay.
that. And then after that, we'll get into what you're doing now, and you can shamelessly plug a bunch, and who knows,
Sounds good. Sounds good.
conversation. All right,
Yeah.
so let's start off with just kind of you growing up, what your upbringing was like, learning to play, because obviously you're a multi-instrumentalist, learning to play, all that stuff.
Well, to start off with, it was guitar. I was like, my dad was really into punk, and I was just like, I enjoyed whatever he put on when I was younger, mostly. And then I started taking lessons when I was about 7, but just sort of like nothing serious. It was just kind of like, group sessions, everyone would learn like the basic like notes and notation. It wasn't anything crazy. And then I progressed quicker than like most of the people there. So my tutor eventually was like, "Oh, yeah, you should do private lessons with me because it might be more beneficial." So that was that, and that was kind of around the time where I first found Metallica. So that was like the first ever metal I experienced. I loved Metallica. I still do, but like I loved Metallica. So like I really looked up to Kirk Hammett and James, and that was all I learned. Probably like I did like half an hour lessons, and 15 minutes of it would be like grade work and like theory work, and then 15 minutes would be like whatever I wanted. So I did that probably up till I was about 15, just when like I didn't have the time for anything. I was playing ice hockey then. I was playing music then. I didn't have the time for anything. So lessons were out of the picture. But then I went to college and I studied a level 6 NC, then onto a HNC for music performance. And that was when I found drums. Because obviously I went there to study guitar, but there was no drummers. So like a big part of like your grades and stuff was like playing in a band, live stuff. So I was just like, I'll just play drums. Not really like it wasn't anything I could ever see myself playing in a band, but obviously now, yeah, that's kind of talking about now, but that's kind of
Yeah,
like a quick summary of like how I got into like drums and guitar. That was like the main two things I got into.
yeah. When did the vocals start coming about?
Oh, honestly, probably when I was about 12 or 13. Like I didn't like do it seriously. I was just like, I just want to sound like at
Right,
the
let's
time I was
let's make some stupid noises for a laugh.
yeah, like
I like this guy. Let's sound like him.
yeah. And at the time it was a lot of like lighter stuff like Lamb of God.
Still
But that
good.
was probably like Whitechapel and like deathcore, like more deathcore, like Meshuggah. Those
Oh
were
yeah.
like the sort of stuff I listened to, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to like learn how they do that. And I was absolutely butchering it for years,
Oh,
like for
we
years.
all do. We all do. I still
I
do.
was honestly, there is recordings of me like in my first band, and it's just like it makes me cringe so bad.
I mean,
But
it's still better than what Chris Barnes is doing now. Fucking.
yeah, no, he's good.
I mean, look, the first three 6 Feet Under albums, brilliant. Everything after that, oh, oh
Indeed.
God, it's so bad. Not even Ice-T could save that shit, and Ice-T can save anything. Oh, and I feel terrible for making fun of it, but my God, it's so easy. It's so easy.
I mean,
So
he's doing
when
something right. he's getting people's attention, you know.
I
So
mean, he is, but now everybody's just going to make fun of him. No one cares about the new 6 Feet Under album. No one cares about that. It's just, is the old man going to say something stupid that we can all laugh at?
who we can make multiple memes of.
Oh God, yeah. Like, remember, I think it was last year he tweeted something about how modern death metal makes him feel physically ill. It's oh yeah, that was a thing. It was either Revolver or I think it was Metal Injection, and they had this like death metal round table with like George from Cannibal Corpse, Trevor from Black Dahlia Murder, rest in
Uh,
peace, legend, like Chase from Gatecreeper, Alex from Death, maybe a bunch of others. And he saw this and basically just kind of old man yells at Cloud and talked about how modern death metal makes him feel physically ill. And I'm just going, bro, it's because all these vocalists are so much better than you. I mean,
How can you sit there and shit on George Fisher or Trevor? You know, like
exactly, you need to respect the neck. Like, my God,
yeah,
it will
yeah.
consume you.
I haven't seen them live yet, unfortunately, but I think they're playing Glasgow soon, right?
Yeah, Cannibal are playing Glasgow with Municipal Waste, Immolation, and a band called Schizophrenia. And I like the look of their logo, so I'm probably going to like it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, well, I definitely need to make that for the neck.
Oh yeah, I've seen them twice. I saw them actually both times last, no wait, 3 times. Because one time was with Black Dahlia on the Nightbringer cycle, which was it was a co-headline in the O2 ABC. I missed that venue.
Yeah,
I missed that venue. It's so good. And then
I've
twice
never
in the
seen.
Barrowlands.
Hmm?
And then twice in the Barrowlands as well. Both
Oh,
headliners. It was awesome.
yeah, I need to catch him.
You do. I would highly recommend it. Their
Slam
live show is still incredible.
for the slam riffs too. Early slam riffs.
Oh God, yeah. It's like without them and like internal bleeding, we wouldn't have slam whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Not a
No, but
chance. Not a chance. So now that
respect.
oh yeah, respect the net. So now that we've kind of went over the kind of early life, what about kind of getting into your first bands? Any first memories of shows, stuff like that? Anything funny, anything cringe, anything great?
I've definitely got some good stories probably that I can think of. But I say properly. I started playing local shows when I was about 15, probably, and that was in my first band called Memorial Parasite, and we were like a 7-piece band with like 2 bass players. We had a keyboardist who did percussion as well. We had a third guitarist who did percussion as well, and then there was me and the other like main guitarist who also did vocals, and then we had a drummer too. That was just like that was a piss take, you know. Like there
I'm
were
just I'm
seven.
just sitting here wondering, right? Because what is it they played again?
What
What is it that Memorial Parasite played?
like genre wise,
Yeah.
just fucking anything. Like there was
Because
like there was a porno grind song. There was like soppy cry your eyes out tunes. There was like deathcore inspired tunes. There was gent. Like there was everything, and we were yeah. It was fun. It was fun looking back on it, but it was stressful because like
oh God, yeah, it's 7 people.
we were all young. Everyone fucking hated us. You know, we would come to shows and like, well, I say a few of us. Well, little of us knew what the fuck we were doing back then, but like, yeah, we
Who
definitely got a
does?
bad name for ourselves. But it was fun, and then I guess the first I played in another band, Silver Punk, for a wee bit, and then I started Section 9 when I was 16, probably 17, and that was like the first proper gigs I was doing. So like back in the day, we like supported Ingested in Dundee. It was a random gig, like, and there was another good show which was Random Sunder, Cerebral and Emma, Anal Plus Boss, and well, that was maybe it. But those were like the first sort of like proper shows I played.
Yeah.
What was it after that? Desecrated was in there at some point. I can't remember when, but
Yeah.
Desecrated was just being a bit of fun. because it's by myself. I don't have to rely on anyone else. It's so good. It's so stress free,
Yeah.
and I can write stupid shit, and no one be like, "You don't need that porno grind beat," or
I
you
mean,
don't need
yes, you do. You always need porno grind beats. You need porno grind beats and stupid samples. That's what we need.
that.
Stupid
Actually,
samples. But
it was really funny, like because in that time I started at a college, so everything I was composing was at college. So thing that was like a weird fucking sample, I would have to like search on my phone and copy the link to myself and get the YouTube like
yeah.
MP3 because I couldn't search up like
Yeah, because the questions you would have, like,
yeah
I don't know, I can't even think any off the top of my head, and I've been listening to Gorpot all day.
yeah.
It's just like the questions that you would get. So, what is Hot Pocket, Alabama, Luke? I don't think anyone would be prepared enough to explain that to anybody.
Even when like my parent, well, like my mum was asking me like, oh, like what's your solo project, what are your songs? I'm like, you don't need to listen to it, it's okay.
No, it's fine. What solo
Fine.
project? What you on about?
Listen to the other band, the
Yeah.
country.
Oh, but they're supportive parents though.
Yeah, no, big time. Well, obviously they're the ones who got me into music, and
Hmm.
my dad, like he used to promote and like put on punk shows when he was younger, and like he played in the punk band. Like there's nothing, no like it's not told me exactly what, but like he's always pushed me obviously to do gigs, and it's
Yeah.
always and my mum too because she loved that stuff when she was younger too. So
Bringing them
uh,
back to their Mosher days.
exactly.
You ever considered does your dad still play?
No, he's a chef, so that's mainly
Oh
what
yeah,
he
yeah,
does.
there's no time for anything. Yeah, no
Oh
time
yeah,
for anything whatsoever because you're doing like 13, 14 hour shifts from like morning till night, and then that's
uh,
it.
it's a bit better nowadays, but like yeah, back in the day when I was younger, yeah, they were like
You barely saw him.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I can I'd say I can relate, but I spent all of 2 shifts in a kitchen before I quit because it was that awful.
Yeah. Well, I not up until recently worked in a kitchen as well, but I'm back at McDonald's, so I'm still kind of working in a kitchen. But
I mean, there is worse, but I mean, to be fair, McDonald's is kind of it's
yeah,
the
well,
bottom of the pile. But as long as it pays you, who cares?
I would say it's probably the best job for a musician though, because there is so many people that work there. So getting a fucking gig off is so easy. There's like over 100 people that work at my store, so like
Yeah.
I can post a shift at the start of the week, and I know someone will like cover it by the end of the week. So
Maybe I should
you
do
know,
that because where I work, there's maybe 7 of us, and it's like I have to give them the sad puppy eyes and go, please, please.
please can
Maybe I should do that. So obviously, learning to play guitar, drums, you're mimicking who you look up to. So back when you were a wee oik, who would you say you were looking up to most?
So when I properly like started playing guitar, um, I looked up to guys like Yngwie Malmsteen, Michelangelo Batio, like Paul Gilbert, John Petrucci, all shred guitarists. That's
Yeah,
Jason. I can't believe I forgot him. Jason Becker. Like he is like one of my biggest inspirations ever. And like if you listen to Unhallowed Void and like listen to the guitar, like you will definitely be able to hear.
I
If
have
you're like
definitely
that,
heard a lot of that kind of more shreddy virtuoso vibes, but it's not quite as wankery as like Rings of Saturn.
there's another inspiration.
Look,
First one,
I love Rings of Saturn. Their early stuff is incredible. Danger's still one of my favorite albums, but the
yeah,
self-titled album is absolutely horrendous. Why?
yeah. I'm sorry, man. That new album was not good.
Oh, it's awful. And then they've got this whole thing like, no, we're not doing vocals anymore. Yeah, because
So
you're shit.
sad. It's so sad because I like them so much, and
Yeah.
like Senseless Massacre was like the first. Like I can remember first hearing Senseless Massacre, and I was like
What is this? Just
13, and like for years I wanted to learn that song, and I did one day, but like you know, yeah, that shit and is just like crazy, you know.
It's fine. We just pretend that Lucas Man doesn't exist. It's fine. Except now I think he's pretty much the only one left because
Yeah.
like Joel's left, Miles is left,
Well, Ian Bearer left.
Ian left ages ago, and I'm so upset about that because I've always loved his vocals. It's really unique tone.
Though his highs are just like fucking
Yeah,
slept on vocalist. Like
he
I get
really is.
people don't like Rings of Saturn, but even
At least
even
give props to Ian, you know.
even the vocalist they had before, I can't remember his name, but he was great too.
Oh yeah, Peter, I think his name was because I was remember they did like the re-recording remake of Embryonic Anomaly, and they did a live stream where they had him on and they were chatting shit about like the first album, their tours, and all that stuff. It was really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he's really good. They used
I've
his
seen
original
them live.
stems.
I've
Yeah,
seen them live. They can fucking do it. Like
yeah.
there's a lot like obviously mouth about like him faking it. I mean, maybe he
Backing tracks, boo.
100% sped up on the albums, like you can hear it, but he
Oh
played
yeah,
it. He fucking like right in front of my eyes played it.
yeah. No, I truly don't doubt it because you have to be a certain kind of person to fake a live experience. It's like you really have that little faith in yourself.
Yeah, true.
It's so
Like
dumb. It's so dumb.
bad about like adding in guitar parts that I'm not playing. Like never
Yeah,
mind. Like
especially because you're adding lots of overdubs and stuff like that. Unless you've got like three guitars, like you're pulling an Iron Maiden or a Whitechapel, you're
yeah,
not really going to fully organically replicate that as well.
and that's less money for the band.
Exactly, because then you're needing to divide it up more ways. So that you've got the right idea with Desecrated Extinction, because you can just take all the money,
Well, the money I make from
all them
it.
tens of dollars, them tens of porno grind dollars.
Is it
Get
0.004 per listen?
it's something like that. It's something like that. But as much as I agree with the whole thing of artists should be paid better, you can't beat the convenience because I'm not going to carry a giant case of CDs that's like 6 feet high and a giant Walkman or tapes everywhere.
They're really expensive now for CDs. You know, like back in the
Yeah,
day, and for like pennies.
yeah,
Like I remember my parents telling me like they bought this for 70p now, and I was worth like fucking 80 quid for this vinyl. You
yeah.
know, it's cool. I love it, but it's just I wish I
It's ridiculously expensive. It is because I have just to the side of me, I have a stack of vinyl, and a lot of it's like between 20 and sometimes upwards of 40 quid, and I'm just going, Jesus.
yeah, shit's crazy, man.
It is crazy. It's still cool though. I love looking at the big artwork and especially
Uh,
finding ones that are really trippy, like vinyl splatter patterns and stuff.
yeah. Well, speaking of Rings of Saturn, I've got like their one of their albums, and like the vinyl is like sick.
Oh yeah, that's something that I definitely appreciate about the physical media, and also like the big artwork. You can see all the effort that people are looking into the artwork and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I do
like
miss that.
it's sick.
Yeah.
That's hand wrought art. He did like both desecrated things for me and his.
Hmm. Yeah, I love those artworks. And then you've also got people like Daymorph art and like his artwork's insane. I love it. Anytime it pops up in my Instagram feed, just fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I definitely need to like check out more artists because like I hate the fact that Unhallowed Void did AI for a lot of it, but it's just more cost effective when you're trying to do it DIY, you
No,
know.
and I completely agree with you. I think that for starting out, AI is fine, but take what the AI gives you and then play around with it in like Photoshop and stuff and make it something your own instead of just taking that
Yeah,
and going, yeah, here you go.
yeah, definitely.
I think that's something that's my one caveat with like using AI art. But otherwise, I would say if you can afford it, find somebody to do like commission a piece, for example.
Like the new Desecrated stuff is definitely going to be AI. You know, like that I'm the one I cannot afford that anymore. You know.
Yeah, no, I get that. I know the tunes are going to be sick. I saw that preview that you posted on your story, and I'm just stank facing, just like,
Oh, I'm like so happy with it. Like I've got like I might as well just say I've got like a 5 track EP coming out, and
sweet. I
that
will
will be
definitely bump that.
Yeah, it'll be hopefully we'll be out soon. I'm just waiting on things that
It's
I can
all these things from other people and people.
and artwork,
Yeah.
merch and shit all like that,
Well, speaking of merch, I did see that thing from Gorehog merchandise, and I'm going, ooh, what's that? What's it
Yeah.
gonna be? Is it gonna be a hat? Is it gonna be a jersey? I need more snapbacks. I need more.
It won't be hats, unfortunately, but it'll just be, I don't know. Um, we're just gonna what we're talking about. We're just sort of testing the water, so it'll probably just be one little run that we'll do, and we'll see how well it does. Because obviously, like, it is a one piece project, so it is harder to promote stuff.
Yeah,
So we'll see
definitely.
how it does, and hopefully we can do more stuff, but hopefully this will be the start.
Nah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be sick. I love the preview and the stuff that Gorehog posts. It's incredible. Like those guttural slug jerseys. Like, oh, that's nice.
I'm not being biased here, but like the quality is like great. Like that's why I reached out because like I got my like copper cephalic mutation hoodie, like it's like the blue one with like the
Oh
big
yeah, I
back
have that same one. It's
quality on
so
it,
good. It's really comfortable as well.
and I've got my like an embryectomy hoodie from them too, and
Mm,
it's all nice hoodies. It's not like that, you know, that thin
yeah.
shitty hoodie.
Yeah, it
So
feels like you're wearing nothing. I think I got a parasitic ejaculation beanie from them and the last of the two violently vomit snapbacks, which I love because it's grey and a lot of my snapbacks are grey, aside from like one blue one. I will admit this, it's like a maroon POD one because come on,
yeah.
POD slap. Come on now. Do not kid yourself. You're going boom, here comes the boom when that hits in. You are. If you were born after 2000, you absolutely are.
Yeah.
See, new metal's good. I don't know why people are going on about, oh, new metal shit. No, it's good. Shut up.
My honest opinion about new metal, there is very few, not very, there's quite a lot of new metal. Maybe I'm being a bit, but there's like selective
Oh,
bands. I
yeah.
feel like
I mean, there's a
that,
lot of good, but there's a lot of shit.
yeah, exactly. I
Cough,
feel
cough,
like,
trapped.
yeah, I feel like there's very few new metal bands that I like all of their songs,
Yeah.
you know.
For me, it's pretty much just Corn with Limp Bizkit and like Slipknot. I'm a wee bit more selective of some stuff. Like obviously everybody worships the self-titled in Iowa. Then everything after that's kind of
Have you heard like pre-Corey stuff?
I can't say I have. I did see them. I need to find the thingy of Mate Feed Kill Repeat because that sounds really cool.
Yeah, you need to check it out. That's fucking
I read somewhere that and I think it's Anders Persephone or something like that. It's like choose a nationality for your name. Are you Swedish or Italian? Come on now.
but
It's like Anders
there's
Persephone, and I'm like, all right, but he's playing the Mate Feed Kill Repeat stuff on tour. I think it's just like in the States or something. Which of course everything good's in the States.
yeah, I would absolutely love to see that because
I
there's
think it'd be cool.
I'm not sure if it's off of that, but there's a tune called Carve, and it literally has like the dirtiest slam riff ever at the end. You need to
Yeah,
check it.
slamming
So
before everyone else. It's class.
literally, I think it's not even Corey as well, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah, and I love Corey Taylor as a vocalist. He's got that big front man energy, which is something that I really like.
Yeah, and I am so happy they got Eloy on drums.
Oh yeah, absolutely. To be fair, everybody was predicting it because I think somebody saw like his tattoo that's there. It's like,
Yeah,
yep, that's the boy.
like, because
That's
I
that boy.
literally saying to like, because I think it was even rumored before he would join that they might, Eloy or like there's that other drummer who's quite like a big influencer drummer.
Yeah,
Find his name. But anyways, I was like, if it's him, I'm gonna watch them. If it's anyone
yeah,
else, I'm gonna fucking
yeah.
watch them.
I think Eloy will be a great fit because I quite like some of the later Sepultura stuff. It's never a band that I really got into. It's like I don't hate them. I just don't know where to start with them.
I mean, anything. I love the earlier stuff because it was very thrash,
Yeah.
good thrash tunes, and those Roots Bloody Roots, absolute
Oh
banger.
yeah, that song's a banger. I do know that one.
Fuse Resist, that's a good
Yeah.
tune.
Territory is also really good. I quite like that one. Just that groove in there.
Mhm. But yeah, again, it's a band that I haven't checked out fully. There's definitely more Sepultura. Like I haven't heard.
I haven't listened to a lot of the Derek Green stuff. Like, I'm sure he's a great vocalist. He wouldn't be there for 20 years if he wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Must be doing something right. And I know that they're doing their farewell tour. Let's wait 5 years.
Yeah, like
Just like Slayer, and then they played what? I think they played the festival, and it's like, nope, not doing anything.
nah, the Slayer thing's cringe. Like I'm not gonna see them.
I don't get it because like the week before that happened, Kerry King's like, oh, Tom Araya's dead to me. Next thing you know, oh, Slayer's back. Like right after he announced his solo album with the worst artwork on the planet.
I've not even listened to it, but apparently, like, it just sounds like shit. Like the boy from like Trivium that he did it with mixed it, and it just sounds like
Yeah, Josh Wilbur. I usually like his mixes as well, but it's not bad. It's just boring.
yeah, it's
There's
like
nothing that's like, oh, that's cool.
it's like you're the guy who wrote Raining Blood. You know, like come on,
Yeah,
you were
come on.
in there so many good tunes, and this is like what you're doing now.
Where's that? I'm going to grab my really crap looking Dean from the whammy bar and just wank the air with it.
Oh,
Where's
that's
those
the
solos?
real.
Oh, it's so funny. I do like it's like Mark Osegueda from Death Angels on vocals, and I love his vocals, but it just doesn't fit weirdly. I don't know, it just irks me the wrong way.
Yeah, no one said a good thing about it, so I'm not gonna check it.
It's I wouldn't anyway. I'll check out the album. Maybe it's just they put out the kind of mid single and the album's actually mind blowing, but
Yeah,
who knows? Who knows? It has horrible cover art, which is probably AI.
probably.
Just like the Deicide album, the new Deicide album. It's like the album's good, but just the AI art, it's
So
like a shit PS2 game.
yeah, I know it's so confusing because you definitely have the budget to
Oh
fucking
God, yeah, people would be clambering up the walls to work with Deicide, and they have some incredible album covers as well.
like it's I don't know if it was maybe just like a big fuck you thing to everyone. It was probably like
It sounds about right. That feels like a very Glenn Benton thing to do.
yeah.
I'm surprised that because I know you guys in Penny Coffin supported Deicide last year, which was incredible. Never thought I'd
that
get to see Deicide.
that was like one of the like most incredible shows I've ever played. That was crazy.
Oh yeah, just the best part about that was just watching you drum. It's just like, oh,
And then obviously your man from DSide, I was just like the whole time just like at the
just
side.
oh,
Just,
Deicide, Deicide. It's that guy.
I was so fanboying so hard, and when I like fanboy over bands, I'm like, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to speak to them.
But you're
But like,
also just like, say hi, he's busy. Say hi, he's
yeah,
busy. Oh, it's the worst. I'm like that as well. It's such a nightmare. But did
like
Deicide, like when they came round, did they ever speak to you? Anything?
well, like they were in their like the dressing room the whole time. We weren't allowed to go in the dressing room.
Right.
But yeah, like the drummer came on stage and like he shook my hand and he was like, look, that was like genuinely like really good. And he was like, I could tell he was being genuine. So like just those just those few words was enough because it made me feel
Pants
good.
immediately creamed. A compliment from Steve Ashheim.
What's that?
A compliment from Steve Ashheim. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
like
I would.
and I came off happy.
Oh yeah.
That was really like a really stressful show because I was like overthinking about the show so much because I was like, fuck Stacey, okay. And I like forgot everything.
Yeah.
So luckily, like my mate at the time, like all of his shit was like close by and it was like similar to me. So like I forgot my triggers, I forgot all my cables, like everything I needed, and I forgot like my in-ears. So that was like the first ever show I had played with Penny Coffin without a click. And that
Yeah.
was like I don't think I've played without a click since I was like about 15 or 16. So that was like shit scary as well. So there was like
Yeah.
to hear that from him at the end, it was like, oh, like he thought,
Just wait till he gets his cables, the in-ears, the triggers, and then see him.
yeah,
No, it
guy.
was at least from a fan perspective, and I was up the front the whole time, as I usually am. It was it was really cool watching you drum and then the interplay between you and the rest of the guys. It was really cool to watch.
Yeah, like even like playing to that. I've never played to that like amount of people either. It was packed.
Yeah, it was. I think this show sold out or it was like near selling out. I don't remember.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It was packed. It was packed because Slay's tiny, but it's really good. I love that venue, and I'm going there so many times this year. It's nuts.
It's definitely like I keep saying this, but it's probably like the best venue in Glasgow at the moment.
Just
That's
for some of the shows that they put on as well, like Suffocation back in February, for example.
oh man, Suffocation were insane.
Oh, they were, and also finally getting to see Sanguisugabog.
That was insane, man. I was there for all the Portergrind beats.
Yeah, I was there for just seeing Devin and his arms that are as thick as my head, just like damn.
Yeah, actually surprised me how small he is, but he's like fucking huge. Like
He's a big boy, but he's not a tall boy. I thought he'd be like at least above like 6 foot, you know?
even Eric Marotti, the drummer from Suffocation. Oh, big respect to him. He's like
Oh, he's a legend, absolutely.
talking of drum inspiration, like Eric Marotti, um, Trey from Dying Fetus, Yushin Rybanchenko, who now plays in Flesh God. Like those
Yeah.
three guys really inspired me to play drums. So like when he was outside, it was like that moment. I'm like, I don't want to speak to him, but like I really want to speak.
But I want to say hi. No, I love Flesh God Apocalypse. Any kind of symphonic stuff, I'm a
To
sucker for, like them, Epica, Nightwish, because I will admit I like a lot of that kind of power metal cheese. Some of the
Yeah,
first kind of metal I got into, like Sonata Arctica, Stratovarius. I still love that stuff to this day, as well as stupid monster noises and dumb rap samples.
yeah. It's
Wonder
never.
who I'm referencing.
It was never a thing I got properly into. I guess I listened to Dragon Force a wee bit, and that was it.
Yeah. Oh, I played that thing in Guitar Hero and it's really hard. My fingers hurt.
Yeah, yeah. I fucking still play Guitar Hero. I fucking still play that. So.
You play any other video games while we're on that subject?
um, well, Clone Hero's the main one, but like, I'm not big on games. I kind of just like playing. Like, if my mates come over, I'll chuck on like Tony Hawk, like the early ones, like
Yeah.
with my come over, like Underground 2 and stuff like that, or even like the other like CODs and just like
Yeah,
do
back when
stupid.
COD was good and it's not give me money simulator.
Yeah, back and like play gun game and stuff with my pals.
Oh, gun game was class. Just Black Ops 1 as a whole was class.
Mm-hmm.
It's the overall, I think, the best one for everything, the campaign, the multiplayer, zombies, which I think's great to just sit down, rot my brain, shoot Nazis, which always shoot Nazis.
We should Nazis, yeah.
Always shoot Nazis and Tories and pedos.
Mm-hmm. Very
That's
sick.
that's the rule. I'm going to have that as a back print on a shirt if I ever start my own stupid meme porno grind band.
Yeah,
It's
fucking.
sick. We're fucking pedo punching music. Let's go. So while we're on the subject of mentioned Penny Coffin there briefly, how did you get to go in with the guys, join them, and was it just a kind of fill-in thing at the moment, or was it like full member straight away? How did you end up getting that call?
So I was actually getting my teeth looked at when I got the message, but
As you
Panos,
do,
what's that?
as you do, just get my teeth checked. Oh, there's a DM.
But Panos, the old drummer, just sent me a message, just pretty much saying like his circumstance and how he wasn't able to commit to the band,
Yeah.
and I guess him and Gary like talked. I've known Gary for a long time because like my first two bands, Memorial Parasite and Section 9, played quite a lot of shows with like Zombie Militia, if you've heard of them.
I can't say I have, but I'll put them in the list.
You need to check them out. They were
I'll be
like
doing that.
they've done a lot. Like they've supported like Trivium and shit.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, I played quite a few shows with him. So he's known me for a while, and I guess he put the word in to say to get me on drums because he'd seen Section 9. So yeah, he mailed me. I'd only like kind of checked out Penny Coffin because just never got around to it. Like it was always a name that I saw pop up, and
Oh
like
yeah, definitely.
that, like with Section 9, like even back in the day, like Andy Coghill, guy who mixed and mastered the first EP and like helped me record quite a lot like of stuff in general. He was showing me like early videos of like Panos drumming to like Penny Puff and stuff, and it was sick. So like check them out, and like they sent me like their like the new EP before it came out. I was like, shit, this is like good.
Yeah, that EP is brilliant. Conscripted Morality is class. So
And
good.
so just in your face, like the bass, like the production,
Oh
especially
yeah.
like end is just meaty. I was like, fuck. This and it was just full of blast beats as well. So I was like, fuck yeah, of course I want to
Hell
do
yeah,
this.
blast beats.
And it was a really good challenge for me as well, because it was like tempos that I'd never really played at a lot. And it was like not as fast as I'd played before, but it was slower tempos for like longer periods of time, and like longer just like constant like
Yeah.
awkward tempos. And it definitely made me like a better drummer 100%, just like practicing and learning those songs.
Yeah.
And then yeah, here we are now.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the best move, I think, because you are a really solid musician, and with you playing guitar as well, you can contribute to the riff front as well. So the more
And
kind of chefs in the kitchen kind of thing.
yeah, big time. And it's also like, well, with musicians you can tell who plays drums, like if they're a guitarist or vice versa,
Yeah.
because they listen to it differently, they hear it and understand it differently. So I don't. At least I like to think it gives me quite a unique. And all my influences, I wouldn't say they're normal or like most people. You know, most people it's like I'm not shitting on anyone, but like most people it's like metalcore or like deathcore when they were younger. But
Yeah.
yeah, just all the shit. It makes something different. And like Penny Coffin, even Penny Coffin, when I first listened to it, it's different. It's not your average just brutal
Yeah.
death metal or old
Yeah,
school death metal.
definitely. And that's what I
It's
really like about them. It has that thing. There's never really a don't know a good term for it, but you just know when a band, even if they are doing something that's like quite average or like not mind blowing, but they just do it really good. Just that kind
yeah,
of thing. Yeah.
yeah, man, that's it. You know, stick to your roots.
Yeah, no, definitely. They're not going to go out and put a like a lo-fi jazz album out, which I think would be funny, seeing you do some skip beats,
That
you
would be
know?
hard. That's
Because
next
yeah, I
week.
mean every drummer can do like the AC/DC beat, the thrash beat, blast beats, but when you start putting skips in there and like weird like shifts with your hands and stuff, that's when it's really tests your metal.
Well, that's why fucking bands like Defeated Sanity are so good, because they're all like jazz musicians, like
Yeah,
most of
no,
them.
definitely. And also I don't know if you were at the Cryptopsy show, but seeing Atheist as well and just how weird they were,
Yeah,
especially for what, like 1989, 1990, and they're doing like these weird like clean bass parts and jazz chords, and it's like that shit was
that
mental when it came out.
pretentious
Still is.
shit is worship.
It is. It is. Kelly Schaefer is incredible. He was incredible. He was on top form that night, as was Cryptopsy as well.
Yeah, no, God, I missed that. It's
But
so
they were so good.
close, man. That one, God, I missed, because I don't live in Glasgow. I live in Aberdeen, which is
Yeah,
like a few hours drive away. So
yeah.
getting those is tricky. It's not tricky. It's just expensive.
It's expensive and it takes forever. It's the same with me because I don't live in Glasgow either. I live in Falkirk, which
uh-huh.
is like there's two train stations in Falkirk. One is like 40 minutes in the train, but it's like maybe a 20-minute walk away from where I live,
Yeah,
which and then there's another one which I have to take a taxi to get to, or like some kind of transport, and it's only 20 minutes in the train. But that train's also like 3 times an hour, whereas the one from the other one is 40 minutes and there's like one every hour. It's just like I just try whenever I can to, because it's like 20 minutes straight into Queen Street and then you're at the center of basically every music venue.
yeah. It's great that everything's popping now in Glasgow, but
Oh yeah.
I do wish it was closer to me.
Yeah. Well, you never know what the future holds. Might end up moving a wee bit closer to the city centre, maybe just on like the outskirts, something like
I mean,
that. definitely
Because the
something that if I was going to move, that's something I'd want to do, get a wee bit closer to all these musicians and maybe even start my own thing, who knows? But
definitely, yeah.
for now it's just fun going to shows and everybody's at each other's shows. It's almost got a kind of hardcore vibe where everybody's supporting each other and shouting each other out, and it's almost like an exact replica of what happened in Florida in like the late 80s, early 90s as well.
Yeah, man. No, big time.
It's really cool because you've got Ricky doing his radio show. There's me with this podcast if it manages to take off. I know
Yeah,
somebody's doing wanting to start like a zine, like an actual like paper magazine, which is really sick.
that'd be
Um,
cool.
it would be pretty cool. I think that they go by Morbid Cunt on Instagram, and they do a lot of gig photography. They've done some really cool shots.
Yeah, yeah. I think they were going to do photos for me, but just I was busy, so probably didn't. It's probably on my end, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's oh yeah, that'll be cool.
and just all these people doing all this cool stuff, and then obviously you've got like Kwando and Kendo doing Dead Winterfest, which was amazing.
I that was an amazing show. I really enjoyed playing that.
With how many bands were on there, and it just being one day, and it being in Ivory Blacks, what really impressed me was how short the changeover times were. Just like
Yeah,
first
every
band,
time.
ooh, next.
Was that? I can't remember if that was the no, but I know it was Ricky's birthday.
Yeah.
With the two bands at the end, I mind they were playing with double bass kits. I mind that being such a pain in the arse.
Oh, I don't doubt that more moving components and stuff. I can see why Party Cannon have tossed their bass drum.
I, I mean, I would I do it? Maybe not for Penny Coffin, but if I was playing in a slam band, definitely there'd be no fucking kick drum.
Yeah. Just whack everything in a laptop, it's fine. Within Destruction, do it.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, they sound decent live.
I saw them a couple years ago in the audio. Yeah, they sounded pretty good. And like Luke is still humanly playing. He's got the wee like I think it's rolling kick pads or something. Still sounds really cool.
I think that's what Party Cannon use as well,
Yeah,
or some
because it
extent.
was under it was for the last album, Volumes of Vomit. They did that studio diary,
All right, okay.
which there was an episode for Martin's drumming. There was one for like Mike and Craig's guitar playing. You can see the gear they use. Sounds
Uh,
incredible.
uh, I did see some of that. Especially Martin's drumming. Martin's crazy man.
Party Cannon in general are really blowing up right now, and I'm here for it.
Not crazy. Chris is crazy. You know.
He is one of the hardest working people in the scene, I think, because you've got Party Cannon, they're going all over Europe and America and stuff, and then Iniquitous Savagery have basically rebuilt their lineup and are getting a new album out.
I can't fucking wait for that.
They played a show at the Flying Duck with Vacuous and Rancid Cadaver, and they played that album in full.
Oh shit, nice.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
so good. Oh, I love
yeah.
it.
I
And
think I can't
Rancid played a new song as well.
remember. I think it's sometime in July. Penny Coffin have a show with them. It's Summoning and Jaundice. I think.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one. Jaundice. They're incredible. They are so good live.
Unfortunately, well, because Penny Coffin tunes are hard, I need to warm up like properly. Other people can just like step behind the kit and blast like 270, but I need to fucking warm up. So I
Oh,
miss
I
a
don't
lot of
doubt
that,
that.
and they were one unfortunately. But everyone keeps telling me how good they are, so at least I'll definitely check them out when they're playing with us.
They are. I would highly recommend it. They're barely in their teens. They're not old enough to buy booze yet, but they sound so seasoned. It's incredible. And their first show was Dead of Winterfest.
Yeah, yeah, I do mind that. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them and the other bands because like Savagery are sick, Age Summoning are sick. Be
They're
good.
all really good. I quite like Aegis Sum. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. Ageless Summoning. We're there. Took 3 times, but we're there. God, I hate myself. Now loads of really cool bands popping off in Scotland. It's really cool to see and be a part of.
Mhm. Hopefully, like it can be as popping as Manchester at some point. But
I definitely think it will, especially because you've got kind of the precursors like Party Cannon who've been going on for a minute, And then Coffin mulch formed just before the pandemic, and then they put out their first full length last year. It's only going to get better from here.
Yeah, it's like it's getting noticed because Sam the Superbog,
Yeah,
that like Coffin mulch and like Iniquitous Savagery, which
and
was
Penny
cool.
Coffin as well was really cool.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
See, someone else told me, but I didn't hear him shout us out.
I'm sure he did. I might be wrong, but like he knows what he's doing. He pays attention. He'll have heard of Penny Coffin. Of course he will have.
Nah, that it would if he did, that's sick as fuck. But
He'll
yeah,
definitely do it the next time they come here. I hope they come back in headline. It
oh
will be incredible.
definitely, man. And also the Legion and Veracity breakdown, like the slam when they both came up on stage was sick.
Yeah, oh, it's so good. I think Suffocation are in good hands with Ricky. I definitely think so.
Yeah, yeah.
The last
Like
album was fantastic. So good.
yeah, it was very like it gave me like almost Dying Fetus vibes, some of it, which was cool.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree though.
Yeah. I couldn't name you like hardly any of the tunes, but it's just an album I'll just pop on and like, listen to the whole thing because it's so good, man.
Oh yeah.
Most Suffocations in general, to be honest, like
Yeah, there's only the only one I can think of, and it's not even because of the songs, it's because of the production, and it's Breeding the Spawn.
I fucking love that.
The songs are still sick, but it's just where? Can't hear it.
I mean, I quite like it.
It's still brilliant, but to be fair, they've basically re-recorded, I think, the whole album
yeah.
as like bonus tracks in each and every release. They've been re-recording bonus tracks, which I think is hilarious. Like, oh, you're not gonna let us do it again? Well, we'll just do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fuck you, we'll do it on our own. It's like Ingested with the Surreption 2,
Oh yeah.
because it's a re-recording of the Surreption, which everybody hated when it first came out. Because
Okay.
they went from surpassing to like basically deathcore, and everyone was like, "What's this shit?"
Not gonna
Which
lie, I'm people. I love Gested. Like I can't mind the name of the like first EP or like the first like sort of brutal death EP they did. It was fucking class.
oh yeah, they did a remaster for that a few years ago. I think
Yeah,
it's
the one
Stinking Cesspool, that one.
that one. There's some like hard beatdown riffs on that as well.
I do love me a hard beat down riff. I don't know what it is about like mid tempo to down tempo stuff, whether it's like beat down or deathcore like Traitors and stuff like that, but it just makes me like return to monkey. You
I
know?
saw Traitors when they supported Rings of Saturn, and they were like, it
That
was
was why I
annoying.
went.
Yeah, like they were a band that like I never checked out, and I just seen them for the first time, and I was like, I want to fucking punch someone, but like the
Oh yeah, absolutely.
security guards were being like wet as fuck about like hardcore dancing and like shit like that. So I
Yeah.
was like, and
There's
then I
always
saw
a
some
few.
really like crowd kill the whole venue, and I was like, fuck yeah.
I will admit when it comes to like hardcore dancing, crowd killing, like do what you want, but just read the
But
room.
the time and a place for it, you know.
Definitely is. Like if I'm sitting here vibing, I'm enjoying some tunes, I don't exactly want to catch somebody's Doc Martin to my face, you know? Which
Yeah,
it's happened, and then you get like for whatever reason, the last few shows I went to, I think it was worse at Spite and Body Snatcher. It's like all the crowd surfers, they seem to just go over my head. It's like, hello, you've got the entire fucking stage. Like, go left or go right. Why are you going here?
I actually chipped my tooth at Suffocation because of fucking crowd surfers, man.
Yeah, I got a like a tiny cut in my forehead at I think it was at Ingested actually when they played couple of weeks ago at
Yeah,
Slay. But it's just like where like go either way, you know?
yeah,
Why?
no, man.
So
But
annoying.
and then you get like shows like Beat 'Em Down, and you're like, okay, this is the show where I'm gonna get my head kicked.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Like,
fun to watch, but not at least for me, especially with my job being very physical and also just me being old and my body's crap. Can't really risk going in and getting windmilled and catching some of these shitty vans in my mouth, you know?
avoid the German shows.
Oh God. I look at like live footage from shows in Germany and I'm just going, this isn't even an audience. This is like one of those things in horror movies where it's like loads of limbs flying out everywhere.
It's just a fucking fight club. That's all it is.
It is. It's just a fight club with a good soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly, man. I fucking love it.
Oh, it's so fun to watch. But speaking of soundtracks, let's say that every like slam, brutal death metal album, whatever, except for five, get Thanos snapped out of existence. What five are you saving?
Oh, that's like,
The favorite album, favorite band, favorite song question that nobody likes, but I'm gonna make you suffer for a bit.
oh, well, I definitely could say one at the moment is Torture. Their new album is fucking ridiculous.
Mm,
Like, that's one album like I just listen to a lot. I'm gonna have to go on my phone and check for this.
yeah, that's definitely a shout. I might need to do the same thing. One I'm looking forward to is the new Rendered Helpless album. I think it's Rendered Helpless.
Oh,
It's the guy from Organectomy.
yeah,
I'm looking
fuck that.
forward to that.
Have they released stuff recently or?
They put out
Because
a single. They've announced their fourth album after like 5 years.
yeah, they haven't released something in a while then. Because I mind listening to, it's a band I've kind of just touched on, but it's like the big centipede looking thing on the front cover.
Yeah, yeah. What was that album again? Oh, I can't
Albums.
remember.
Um, Disposal of the Dead, Defeat Sanity.
Oh yeah.
That I couldn't live without. Uh, Another one. I need to remember the name of it because the names are long.
Oh God, yeah. The logos are even worse. Drop
So
spaghetti. Yep, there it is.
Embryectomy, Glutinous Mastication of Embryonic Remnants. That
Oh, I
album,
love that album. It's so good. It's so good.
that is like probably one of like the first slam bands I really, really fucked with was Embryectomy. I fucking love Embryectomy.
I think mine was I think mine was Acranius back before they kind of brought in Marcus, who is a phenomenal vocalist. I love his gutturals and like that kind of really tonally scream. Oh, I love that shit. It's so good. And they've got the kind of Angel Maker thing where you've got both Marcus and Kevin. It's sick.
Mm-hmm. And then um Guttural Slug, the fucking the album,
Megalodon. Megalodon.
like
It's
nothing
so
else.
good.
That that album too. Then the last one. Hmm. See, there's like so many like I
Oh,
could
I
just
know
like
it's so hard. It's like what ones immediately stick out, especially when it's a genre that's like, oh, the author and the theme.
um what is my last one? Okay, 138. Development 138.
Well, I mean, the man's wearing the hoodie, so I kind of knew it was coming.
Has to be
I'm
done.
very upset that they announced the UK exclusive show in London.
Yeah, man, I
Oh, that
really
hurts.
want like I'm gonna try go to that, but
If I could afford it, I'd have had everything booked like right now.
yeah, like
Because it's Devourment, it's Ruben, like especially those vocals he did on the Peeling Flesh Putrid Stew split. Ooh.
just anything development has fucking done. It's,
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And there's also like Putrid Stew's another one. I mean, come
mhm,
on, it's Cody from Sound Super Bowl. That man, that man's incredible.
yeah,
He's like America's version of Larry Wang, and I'm here for it.
yeah, fucking pick up Larry Wang.
Who does? If you like slam and brutal death metal and you don't like Larry Wang, what is wrong with you?
Nah, literally, like his work ethic is actually crazy. Like he's 40, he's in like a million slam bands, and he also tattoos. Like
Yeah, it's a
he's
nightmare
that like
going through his metal archives page. It's incredible.
I probably yeah like I probably don't even know all the bands he's in.
Oh God, no. Speaking of metal archives, I did have a wee look through there, and you have a page in there with the
Yeah,
most Giga Chad photo ever.
that was yeah. It was like one of the my early. I think I was like 9, maybe 20, 19, 20. It's not that long ago, but I don't have
Yeah.
any tattoos, so it looks weird to me. I look like fucking.
It's like looking back on all your photos from even pre-COVID or like when you were a teenager in high school and you just go, because especially because obviously I don't have hair now. And looking back at me like 5 years ago before I made the decision to just get rid of it, it's like it actively sends chills down my spine and I feel sick looking at it. It's so bad.
I'm the opposite, where I like had short hair, like when I
And now
was
you
younger.
just have this luscious ginger mane, and I'm here for it, and it makes me slightly jealous. Oh, I love it though. It's so good. You need to get you windmilling and shit. To be fair, you'll actually hit somebody at the back of the room though.
That's just hard. I've tried to windmill and blast beat at the same time. Props to any drummer that can do it. I get too dizzy and I get out of time. Like it's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. There's very few that I think could pull it off. To be fair, I think Eugene Rybachenko, because I'm bad at Slav names. I love his work. I love Flesh God. I can't wait for them to put something out. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's like one of the like biggest inspirations for me because when I was learning like double bass and like finger technique and stuff, like his videos always popped up, and like I remember seeing like his like the violation cover. That was just like the first like
Man's doing that
fast
in a suit as well.
first fast drumming I'd seen, and I was like, I need to learn how to play that song. And what, like 6 years later, I still can't play.
Is that that's the very top of the mountain, learning the violation?
Yeah, that's like my life goal is to be able to play the violation. It's
Yeah.
because it's like it's 270 blast beats for the whole song. Like people can
Yeah,
do
there's no
it.
break. It's just
Yeah. And then there's fucking double bass on top of it and just flash off,
it's
man.
so good. It's so good. Even though I did read recently that their bass player actually left.
Oh what?
Their bass player left
I didn't
after
actually hear that.
after like what, I think 15-ish years or whenever Flesh God found, like he's been in the band the whole time and he left.
His vocals are sick as well.
Yeah, right. I really like the cleans on like Mona Lisa and like all of Valeno. It's such a good album.
Like when I first heard it, I was like, "Ugh, what the fuck is this?" But then like I listened to it
It
a few.
makes sense. It makes sense. Like, see, cleans in extreme metal can be good if you do them right.
It's not like a chorus thing. It's like they thought about the song and like thought where they could
Yeah.
put the clean singing, and it's really tastefully done.
Oh yeah,
I love
it is.
because I hate most clean vocals.
I remember I think everybody who was into extreme metal at one point was like that, oh, clean vocals suck. But it's like, no, if you have a catchy chorus, like it's banging, but you gotta do it right.
Like even with when I was younger, like I wouldn't say Metallica and like Megadeth and Slayer is screaming, but it's certainly like not
Well, Dave
clean.
Mustaine just sounds like he's going to shit himself all the time.
It's I've never really listened. It's never really just been a thing for me. Like I really liked Periphery back in the day, but like I just can't stand the vocals on it.
Well, let's just be glad that they have, at least for I think the first couple albums, they have instrumental versions. I'm very glad for that. And I think every band should do that. Because I have on my Apple Music, I have a playlist full of like instrumental versions of albums and stuff like that. And it's reaching like 1,800 songs.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
it's all like instrumental because it was the initial idea was I had it to like study to in college as like background noise. So that way I don't get distracted by like monster noises. But like even just hearing some stuff like Flesh God Apocalypse, prime example, Rings of Saturn, Shadow of Intent, Volvidinia, hearing their instrumentals or their songs instrumentally is really sick.
Yeah, because like for people who aren't musicians, I don't think the instrumentation is like the thing they focus on the most. It is the vocals. That's what like most people just
Yeah, or at
hear.
least if you're not like a kind of more invested music
Exactly.
fan, like someone like you or I, you don't really you listen for like that vocal hook or like that catchy drum beat maybe.
Yeah. Exactly.
Whereas for me, I love a tasty riff. It doesn't matter if it's a slam riff, beat down, even just like some old school tremolo or some or like a chug. I love
Kind
me some chugs.
kind of just shit. Yeah. I'm here for that. You
I
know.
love the caveman stuff. I like the kind of more tech stuff like Archspire, prime example. But there's something about like a good caveman riff that just tickles that part of my brain.
Yeah, like there's Unhallowed Void is fun to play because it's hard, but
Yeah.
then there's like Desecrated, and there's just
Turn
it's
off
sad.
brain, go monkey.
You know, it's just such a I prefer Slamline, as you can tell, but like it's it just tickles my brain, you know.
Yeah, you want to enjoy what you're playing up there because there's nothing worse, especially as someone who goes to concerts like I do. There's nothing worse than seeing a band that's just up there and going, oh, "Look at me! What am I gonna have for dinner tonight?" There's no because if I wanted to just hear live music, I wouldn't travel into Glasgow. I wouldn't pay all this money, like travel cost, venue ticket, that kind of thing. I would just stay at home in my pants and watch YouTube, you know?
Like at the end of the day, people are paying for a show. Like
It is, you want to watch something. That's
exactly.
why, like the Party
Listen to your
Cannon show, prime example.
Exactly. If they just want to listen to your music, they can on Spotify. But you've
Mhm.
got to make it at least a little bit interesting and just move about. You
Yeah,
know,
like bob your
Uh,
head a bit, do a wee dance.
yeah. Like it's hard to do it for Desecrated because I'm just like there with guitar and vocals mainly. But I still, it still makes me boogie.
Yeah, you want to have a wee boogie. I wasn't able to make the Cenotaph show because I had like 4 pence in my bank account, which is fun.
They are like the best band I've ever seen live.
Oh,
Like
they're so good. I really like them. Definitely, they'll come back. I know they will.
I hope because you know they 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 shouted me out too, so they liked it, and that other bands played great, so hopefully. But
I'm,
it's
I'm
just
sure they will.
slam is just like a weird one sometimes in Scotland,
Yeah,
especially like it was after the whole like razor rape thing, if you mind that.
I do know of the name. Yeah.
Yeah, like I played a show with them, and it was Anal Floss's boss, Razor Rape and Brutal Sphincter. But just like because there was the name rape in the name, like the poster got taken down and it was banned, and like
Yeah.
no one booked. That was like the month before COVID, and like I mind even when shows started again, people were like iffy booking slam because of that reason.
Yeah.
So I hope that there was that. Obviously, there's been brutal death, but like I think that style, like that slammy. Obviously, you got OCD and that coming back, but
I'm very glad they're back.
different bands in Glasgow, you know,
Yeah.
like good Tap Dark with Slaves and Couple Self Mutation, hopefully it's a start.
I hope so as well. I hope so as well. And hopefully we can get, because there's a lot of really cool slam bands in the US popping off. I mean, Peeling Flesh, prime example. I really want to see them.
Yeah, nah, me too.
I
Good.
love them so much. They're easily my favorite at the moment.
Yeah, man, I do rate the feeling like Joey, especially the drummer, is like insanely tight. Like,
Oh, he really is. I love watching him drum.
and I think he plays for Violent Impregnation as well. They're sick as well.
Mm,
If you,
yeah. I think their bass player is also in that one. Oh no, wait, that's something else. Oh God, what is
no,
it?
you'd be right because I know there is members of Peeling Flesh. I'm pretty sure in Violent Impregnation, but
I
definitely
know
Joey.
I know Joey's also in I think it's Bashed In, which is just it's so hard.
I've never listened to Bastion.
Oh, they're it's like you know how when Jamie Jasta is like talking about stuff and it's like this is hard. It's hard. They go so hard. They definitely fit that. It's like a kind of mix of like beat down with a lot of like little bits of little seasonings of slams here and there. Oh, they're
Mhm.
nutty. It's kind of like UK beat down but American. It's
No,
really cool. Would rate them. Would highly rate them as well. I know
oh,
Joey also plays in them, and I
sick.
know that Michael does a lot of the production and stuff, and his mixes are mwah.
Aye, god damn man. Yeah.
Hopefully more of these bands start coming through. But anyway, we'll got a couple more just to kind of wrap us up. So obviously the projects that you're doing, both Desecrated Extinction, Lashing Out, Penny Coffin, and Hallowed Void are very rooted in extreme metal. But if you were to do something outside of the extreme metal spectrum or metal spectrum whatsoever, what's something that you think that would be pretty cool to try?
I mean, I guess I kind of it's obviously part of Unhallowed Void, but the orchestral stuff in it, I spend quite a lot of time on it, and I quite enjoy doing it. I love listening to like orchestral, like Unhallowed, especially the new stuff that's going to come out. It's very cinematic, is probably the best way to describe it, rather than like,
Yeah,
or there's like I watched like the whole of Star Wars, for example, then wrote a tune based off like John Williams shit, and then there's other ideas to like take inspiration from like Lord of the Rings and like stuff like that, and chuck that into Unhallowed Void.
yeah.
So I guess from a certain point of view, that's the only thing I would probably consider doing, because I would love to. Speaking of instrumental stuff, I would definitely like to do and release instrumental Unhallowed Void stuff, and maybe even just the orchestral parts too, because like Flesh God do that, and for some,
Yeah,
yeah, um,
a lot of bands are doing that. It is mainly the kind of shreddy bands like Shadow of Intent, and I know Ingested releases the instrumental version of one of their albums, but it is
yeah,
mainly those kind of more symphonic and orchestral bands that kind of do that, and it's always cool to hear.
yeah, but yeah, I guess that, and I don't think maybe classical guitar stuff as well. I'm a
I
big
was going to say we're going to get like a little kind of folky acoustic flamenco EP in the future.
flamenco, maybe that's cool, but
I think it'd be fun, or even just like slip it into like one of your like maybe Desecrated, just have big dumb slam part with a huge bass drop, then suddenly nice little flamenco. Just why not? Just why not? Just slap that in there. I think it'd be funny. I love when bands do that.
you know,
Who knows? I think it'd be sick. Especially like I know Peeling Flesh do that, like here's a random trap sample, or here's some Memphis rap, for example. Just slid right in there.
all there's newer Desecrated stuff with traps like beats that I've made, and
Oh, that'll be
like
cool. That'll be cool. Get a wee kind of boogie on, and then here comes the fight riff.
yeah, like Embryectomy. I'm not sure if you've heard there's a couple of their tunes. There's what are they called? It's like two of my favorite songs ever, and I can't remember the name of them.
Oh, that's the worst, especially because with like people like you and I, whose head is just filled with music, you can never pinpoint that one thing that you're thinking of.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna search this up. This is gonna piss me off.
Oh, I know, you have to look it up immediately, or you're never going to do it. You're never going to do it.
There's that tune Embryectomy do.
Yeah.
That's like, and then there's a couple of techno beats that I like,
Oh yeah. I mean,
or
I think like as
that.
much as a lot of people think they're cringe, I mean, I like them, but like Electric Callboy, prime example, and We Got the Moves, you just have that dumb hard style bass drop. Just I
Yeah.
love that stuff. It's so fun. Just da 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 da.
It's such like a gore grind thing as well, or and like porno grind thing. There's quite a lot of bands that do that. So
I think it's sick, and it means that because otherwise 3 minutes of just pure slam riffs, it does get boring. But having that little thing in there that's just like, what the fuck
kind
is
of
that? Oh, that's sick.
like that's the thing that like attracts me about certain slam bands if they're doing something different. Like
Yeah. Or even like their artwork or something's different, like Peeling
uh,
Flesh, prime example. They've got a lot more almost like rap looking album covers, like PF Radio, the second Slamaholics EP. And then obviously you've got the more gory stuff like Human Pudding and Slampalation Compilation. I think it's cool when you do something that wee bit different. Just kind of
nah,
keeps everything healthy, and because otherwise the same shit, it just gets boring.
yeah. And then when slam bands fuck about with different time signatures, that's what really tickles my fancy. That's
Oh
like
yeah,
with
definitely. Here's this weird like proggy bit, just because why not? Oh, it's
uh,
3/4 instead of 4/4.
like Torture is like a good example. Like all of
Mm.
their like slams are in like 5/4, 7/4, like wild time signatures.
I can
which
only imagine how weird that would be hearing that, because normally you're used to the typical kind of dun 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 dun, but when you start throwing in like even more notes or less notes, just like what the fuck do I do? How
like
how do I move to this?
I did a cover of like a torture tune. You probably saw it, but agonized desperation, and like the start of that is like straight away in 9/8. So like doing vocals over that at the same time is fucking hard. So
Yeah.
and their drummer does that like 357 with like
Yeah, with
the
like that weird like pop mic, that wee thin skinny one that they use.
so hard, so ridiculously hard.
I have massive respect for drummers that do vocals, like me, Chris Reifert from Autopsy, prime example. There's also the guy whose name I forget from Antichrist Siege Machine. I saw
Okay.
them with Full of Hell last year, and they're like a two-piece like black and grindcore band. Like there's black metal, death metal, and grindcore. And watching him blast beat at what's at least in the high 200s, maybe even hitting 300, while also doing vocals, it's sick and also slightly terrifying. Because this man is fucking going mental. It's like he just snorted a line of coke before he got on stage and just. And I'm just going, bit scary, but this is sick.
And never mind being able to do that, just
And
drums.
doing vocals as well.
And
On top of that.
I tried to do that for section 9 when we didn't have a vocalist for like a wee amount of time, and I couldn't do it. I mean, maybe nowadays I could, but it's just you get out of breath so quick from just blasting the whole time as well.
Oh
And you're
God,
like,
yeah. And then you're trying to think of where you're like the next thing that's coming up, whether it's just more blasting or you're doing like a fill or something, while on top of remembering like vocal timings and lyrics and melodies. I mean, melodies in fucking brutal death metal. What is this? Melody? Eh.
yeah, like especially with drums, because if you fuck up a guitar riff and because the drummer's playing the same thing, you're like, oh, okay, it's that riff. But like if you fuck up the drum part, like
Oh
people will be
yeah,
like,
everyone notices, and then everyone's like, "Boo, you stink." See, this is why
it's
drummers are important because it means that everybody else can fuck up, and then it's fine because you're keeping the time. And same with bassists. As much as we like to make fun of them, "Oh, fucking bassists are useless." The rhythm section is stupid important because while everything else is going nuts, it means that they have that thing, and it means it keeps the groove going.
like listen to any of your favorite songs without bass, and then you'll realize what it's doing. Like
Prime example, and Justice for All. Look at that. Prime example. I still
that.
love that album. It's still my favorite, but
Yeah, I agree.
it's so good. I mean, Eye of the Beholder, such a tune. That intro riff, I love it.
They see when I saw them. I can't remember when it was, but it was at the SSE, and they were just playing with another band that supported them. And they played Harvester of Sorrow, and I think Scotland was like the only place they played it. I was like, oh,
Yeah, I love that album. It's so good. I have it in vinyl. It's easily my favorite Metallica album. But anyway, because oh my God, it's nearly 9 o'clock. And I'm sat here like before I brought you in and just setting everything up, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. What am I gonna do? Like just when you do anything, and I'm sure it's the same like before you go on stage, like that kind of, oh God, what if I fuck it up? What if something breaks? You know?
naturally, if you fuck up, you fuck up. Like, yeah,
It's my first episode. What do you want? It's not going
uh,
to get any better, but at least it won't get worse.
but we're chatting away, so it's good content.
Who doesn't love some content? Consume content.
Content. Consume this
Cons-
content.
Consume this content. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell. Get
Hell
25% off your order at Raid Shadow Legends.
yeah. 2 years, man.
That'd be funny. If I actually get like a sponsorship deal, like I know it's not gonna happen, but if I get that and they're like make a sponsored video,
Hell
I
yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna make it hilarious. Like, I mean, prime example would be like Kadikarus, for example, his sponsored segments. Oh, great.
I haven't watched much of him though.
So he has this like for a lot of sponsored segments, he'll have this kite with like his face in it, and it comes in, it's just like, "Hello, I'm Spots," and just
Uh,
stuff like that. That's the kind of thing that I would do. Make it funny, because then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, what's that thing? Oh, it's NordVPN."
exactly.
Or Raid Shadow Legends, stuff like
Man,
that. I would have
if
such a field day with that.
Raid Shadow Legends hit me up and be like, we want to endorse you, hell yeah, that'd be so funny.
I think it'd be hilarious. I think it'd be great. But anyway, last question. I'll say, if you could pick 4 or 5 other musicians to collab with, could be anybody alive or dead, who would they be, and what would you all do?
Leela Gruber, drummer of Defeat Sanity.
Yep.
Enough. That man is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
God. See, this is the thing. Like, well,
Well, I know
I
there's that many amazing musicians, and then it's like, where do I put myself in? Because he's in drums.
yeah, and then there's musicians who I like, shred guitarists who I'm like, I would like to work
They're
with.
too good for me.
The Gruber, probably because that man's a genius. But anyways, um, there's so many guitarists, there's so many bassists.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember the bassist's name,
What is he from?
but Varane. I can't remember the name of the band. That's so bad. Varania.
Oh, Brain Drill. Is that it?
No, Brain Drill.
To be fair, getting with their bassist would be fun.
Yeah.
Because that man's
Or
got like the 7 string and he's got the fretless and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
that bassist. He plays with like a fucking like 10 string bass or something. He's like sweeping and shit. He's crazy.
Yeah.
That guy or the bassist from Archspire. He's also amazing.
Just anybody from Artspur, I think would be hilarious. Like, one, fun to make music with, and two, hilarious to be around because they're all funny.
Oh,
I know there's so many. It's like I've always said, my dream like slam supergroup would be get like Nickel Talwar from like Anal Stab Wound and Bludgeoned, get him on well basically anything because he can do everything.
yeah, man.
Get Larry Wang, get get Michael Soto from Peeling Flesh, get like Angel Ochoa from Cephalatropsy, Abominable Putridity. I think that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Stick Larry Wang in bass and backing vocals, get Michael on guitar, maybe even get Joe on guitar as well, because I think he does guitars in Bashed In as well.
Mm,
And
okay.
then get Angel to do vocals, because his vocals are legendary, and we are finally getting a second Cephalatropsy album.
Fuck yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
That'll be hard.
It's gonna be so good. And then I really like the last Abominable Putridity album. I thought it
Oh,
was really cool. That
yeah.
production as well, it's huge.
Tasty. It's
It's
just like
so good.
where it's not like too produced as well.
Yeah, yeah.
It's,
It's got that perfect amount of like it's stupid low end, but it doesn't sound like it's a robot. You can tell that there's still some human elements.
yeah, like I think a lot of things that like mix engineers do is they take out a lot of stuff to make it sound better. But like
Yeah.
if me, I boost all the fucking shit frequencies because that's slam, you know?
Yeah, just do what they did in the 90s, just high bass, high treble, mids, lol, no. Nope, buy mids, high treble, high bass, get that stupid scoop sound, which I still love. It sounds shit, but it's great.
But yeah, I mean, I would love it like a super group. In my eyes, just David and George from Unhallowed Void and Leela Gruber, and then fucking vocalists from like Devourment or like Discord or something. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it was
Well,
literally
we were talking about Angel Ochoa, so there you go.
yeah. Or if it was like anybody, I would love to just sit and speak to like Michelangelo Beio, even Yngwie
Yeah.
Malmsteen. Apparently he's a wanker, but still.
Oh, I remember I was watching this guitar YouTuber, and he made a video about why Chris Barnes is awful, and he mentioned how he got blocked on Twitter by Yngwie Malmsteen. I think that's hilarious. I know I'm blocked on Twitter from Chris Barnes, but I never use
I know
Twitter,
a
so
lot
it's fine.
blocked by Chris Barnes, funnily enough. It's funny.
It was around the time that Torment came out, which that album is just awful. Everything about it, the cover, the production, is just horrendous. Almost as bad as fucking Nightmares of the Decomposed. I regret buying that album on CD. I have a copy of it in CD. I bought it just because the box set came with a flag and a mask, and I didn't care about the CD because the album's arse. It's awful.
But honestly, yeah, I could fucking sit here all day and name musicians I would want to work with because there's just so many, man. So many.
There is. It's really cool. Anyway, before we wrap things up, is there anything that you want to shamelessly plug?
New Desecrated EP. Fucking check it out when it comes out.
I definitely will.
And there's some dumb features on it. I put a lot of time into it. I think it sounds good.
That's what
And
you
then,
want, though. You want someone that's proud of their stuff.
and whenever the new Unhallowed Void stuff comes out, check that out too.
Oh,
So
I definitely will. I definitely will. Anyway, thank you.
Check it all out. But
just check out everything. Just go in Metal Archives and have a laugh from there.
have a wonder. Go listen to my other projects if you want. If
You have to, but just please don't. They're
like listen to anything else.
anything that's on the active band section. Everything else, no, it didn't exist. It's fine.
Apart from Fracture Perceptions, they were cool. That's another band I played.
I will definitely look that up. Did they release much, or was it just kind of?
I think it was 3 EPs, 2 of which I wasn't on.
Well, obviously, I'm going to listen to the one that you're on. Come on now.
The most recent one, and yeah, it was. I guess it's just I love the boys in it, and I love the music we made. But I guess it's just brutal death is more my thing now rather than.
Yeah, I would agree. It's definitely where you fit best. Anyway, thank you so much for being the first guest on Cracking the Shell. Hopefully this continues. If not, fucking great first episode. Even if it's the only one, I'm really happy. Thank you so much, and I'll see you at a show soon, my man.
Yeah, fucking right.
Right, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe. You've been on YouTube long enough, unless you're an infant. In that case, why are you here? But thank you so much. Peace and love. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. How do I stop recording? That's the last thing you hear. It's fine, I'll cut it.